What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Philip Perry. Today I'm going to be talking about Sri Lanka and the best way of exploring it. So Sri Lanka is the south of India. It's a nice little small island, very warm. It's a tropical island. This is how I did Sri Lanka. So I wanted to do the south first, then finish off in Colombo, which is the capital, then go home. Obviously you fly into Colombo, right? So what I like to do is spend my last couple of days in the place that I flew into, so it's easier to go home, so you don't miss the flights, you don't have emergency end up having to rebook an international flight. So this is what I did. I contacted a couple of taxis in advance. So basically you can get a taxi in advance, someone that's going to pick you up from the airport. They wait for you outside and drive you to the south. So to the south, it was about 2 hours. So again, I came from London to Colombo. Obviously, that's loads of hours. Then I landed, and again with these taxis, which is great, you can exchange WhatsApp numbers. So literally, I was just talking to them via WhatsApp. This time I land, and so basically they'll generally check the times that you land and basically pick you up from arrivals or departures from arrivals. They'll be outside with the sand. Be aware, it's just Sri Lanka we're talking about. It's not going to like a Western country. It's not even like Asia. It's a lot more kind of chaotic, right? So I stayed in Wanawala, which is literally on the coast, not far from Galle. Galle is really nice. Nice little town, very busy town. In Wanawala, there's not a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of resorts and stuff like that. A nice little beach. A beach was next to my hotel, was called the Jungle Beach, which is great. You gotta go through the jungle to get to the beach. Basically, you would need a car or a bike. So I rented the scooter, and it was great. It was perfect location having the scooter. It's up in the mountains a little bit, beautiful scenery, but you need a bike or a car. I would suggest renting a bike. A bike's cheaper, and in most places you can rent a bike directly at your hotel. That's what I did. As soon as I got there, I said, "You know any places that I can rent a bike?" They said, "Sure." We have got a couple of guys. So a guy came and brought the bike literally in like space of an hour, 2 hours. Make sure you ask for the total price number. You can negotiate a little bit, and they'll ask up for the money up front, and you just pay the entirety. And riding a bike in Sri Lanka is not as bad as in like let's say Thailand or in other parts of Asia, East Asia. Personally, in Sri Lanka wasn't bad. It was chaotic, but it wasn't as crazy. So it was a little bit safer in my opinion. But again, too, if it's your first time riding a bike or scooter, then you need to be very careful, and you might need to take some lessons before you do go and rent a scooter. But getting around the coast, scooter's a great idea. It's cheap on gas, cheap on petrol, and it's very convenient. So literally, with this basically on the coast is just this one main coastline of road, and you just literally can go all the way up to the end of the coast and come back. It's literally that coast. You can just drive it. This country's scenery is absolutely beautiful by the coastline. You could really, even in the daytime riding, in the afternoon, you could see it. Beautiful, see the coastline right next to the road. Stop at different places, stuff at different beaches, different cafes, different bars, different restaurants. It's crazy because I had some of the best pizza that I've had in my life outside of Italy, and that's saying something. So the second best country that I ever had pizza in is in Sri Lanka. So it was amazing. So if you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and support the channel. There's lots to do and see. During the coast, it depends where you stay in the coast. It's not really a nightlife type kind of place where there's loads of clubs and stuff. It's more bars, pool parties, and live bands and stuff like that. So it's not generally huge clubs. You don't get that. You get that mostly in Colombo, right? So in the coast, you're gonna have little gatherings by the beach. Someone plays some music. You drink some beers and stuff like that. So it's not like where there's massive clubs and stuff. I didn't see any. I did most of the coast, so I don't know where you specifically go for that. Wanawala. Again, I'm butchering the pronunciation, so my bad. So basically, that's just like as the coast is right there, the beginning of the coastline in the south. Again, too, this was a nice area, very quiet, chilled area for me. It's right, again, it's right next to Galle. The Galle is better because you can go, there's a port. By the port, there's loads of bars, restaurants, which is a good vibe. So literally, you can just get the bike and ride. So went there a couple of times, went out to eat, went out to a couple of bars there. So it's cool. It's a lot of expats and international people there. So there's lots of different bars and stuff that play music. It definitely is a great place to hang out because you got, like I said, you got lots of different things. You got your bars, restaurants, and different activities. So I personally wouldn't recommend staying in Galle. I'll say stay in Wanawala, like where I stayed, because then you kind of you a little bit outside of the busy areas. It's nice and quiet, great scenery, and you get up, have your breakfast, and just go for a swim. Then go into Galle. Then there's other parts down the coastline, but again, too, I'm not too super familiar with it. But personally, what I would do if I was you is, again, fly into Colombo, head to the south, do the south. Then before you leave, like let's say 2 to 3 days, I personally wouldn't. You don't need more than 2 days in Colombo. I spent 3 days in Colombo, and that was more than enough. So I would say just do 2 days. In Colombo, you got your bars, clubs, different districts where you can go out and stuff like that. It's a lot more lively as far as entertainment side of things at night. You can go drinking in the club and stuff like that. So there's more things to do nightlife wise as far as in Colombo. So, but I wouldn't say I planned it perfectly. So where I hit Colombo Friday and Saturday, and I left Sunday, so it was perfect. I think hitting Colombo would be perfect for the weekend, because weekend it gets a little lively at night. So as far as stuff to do in Colombo, there's not much to do. You can get day trips and go outside of Colombo. But as far as Colombo itself, I stayed right opposite the coast. I can see the water from my hotel, but there's no beach front. You can't go swimming. The tide is pretty high, pretty heavy. It's a strong tide, so you can't go swimming. It's not the prettiest beach or coastline. Also, there's a train. You can see a train right next to the coast, so it's not the best coastline. So that's why I said you go to the south and you can have amazing beaches and explore different beaches. Again, 2 ways of doing this. Again, you can fly into Colombo, hire a taxi, book it in advance, and it'll come pick you up, take you to the south. Then when I went back to Colombo, I hired the same taxi. They came pick me up, drove me. I'd rather get a taxi. Second way you could do it, again, too, if you have more days. I didn't have that many days, so I wanted to be as quick. I want journeys and going from one place to the other as fast as possible. You can either get on the train, which is great, which is also a tourist thing, is getting on the train and you go through the mountains. You literally go through Sri Lanka from Colombo all the way to the south. So that's pretty dope. So if you have 2 weeks plus, I would say definitely do the train. You have to see the train. Again, in peak times, depending on the day as well, it can be very busy, very packed, not as comfortable. But it's an experience. You can hang out the doors and stuff like that. So it's a great experience. You go through the mountains as well, so it's beautiful to see and do. But if you don't have enough time, let's say you don't have a week or so, I recommend get a taxi. But if you have longer, then definitely do the train trip. It'd be amazing. I think it'll be a great look. But I personally just did Colombo, and I did the south, then I went back to Colombo, then I went home. But again, you want to do the entire country, you probably would need a lot longer than a week. I was there just a week. You would need about 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and you could do different parts. There's so much to see and do. People are lovely. People are amazing. People are very friendly. I didn't see one crime take place. The driving, between cars and bikes, that's crazy. But customer service was amazing. People were amazing. The food was great. I felt safe. Couple of scammers here and there, but hey, that's with any country, right? Colombo was safe. Getting around is easy. I just got tuk-tuks. You can get tuk-tuks or taxis. I would recommend getting tuk-tuks because tuk-tuks is a lot cheaper, and it's quicker. You can have plus Colombo's it's a lot warmer than it is down south, so you can have a nice open air tuk-tuk and have some breeze in your face. So where I stayed was an amazing area. I recommend staying there. That's where I stayed in Colombo because it was easy for me to get around to stuff at night. And in the daytime, there were shops. There was a mall close by. and I'm right next to the water, and it's a great hotel. It's one of the best hotels in Colombo actually, so definitely recommend staying there. Would I go back? 100%. I definitely want to go back to the country of Sri Lanka, and I want to actually explore the entire country, but definitely I would need more time. A week is not enough for Sri Lanka. If this helped and you found this useful, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Support the channel so I can come up with more videos and tell you about my experience, and I hope I can help you navigate overseas and all these countries that I've personally been to.